What's up, everybody? It's your boy Scummy Rebel here, and despite my utter annoyance with Black Ops 4, from the gun balancing to the specialist one-hit cheese, there is one thing about the game that I do see as one of the very few things Treyarch did right: the maps. Treyarch may be the best of the development teams when it comes to map design. They flow, they're easy to play in many varying play styles, they're aesthetically pleasing, and I believe I've played enough of each of them for me to rank them. So without further ado, this is Rebel Ranks Black Ops 4 multiplayer maps.
Drank beer, liked beer, still like beer.
Also, quick preface, I'll be mentioning horizontals and verticals throughout this video. I am of course talking about the lanes in the map. If you spawn in on A and the enemies spawn on C, the lanes connecting the spawns are the verticals. The A and C verticals are harder to distinguish, so I'll try to avoid that, but the B vertical is the center lane from one spawn to the other. The horizontal lanes cut across the map, so the B vertical and the B horizontal will never change, and that's what I'll be calling them. Hope that makes sense. So first up on the docket at number 14 is gonna have to be Jungle. One of the 4 remastered maps given along with the 10 original maps. This map originated in the original Black Ops, and for some reason, I just don't like this map. I can play on it, it's not a bad map that I'll leave the lobby not to play, but no map in this game really makes me feel like that. Excluding DLC maps, of course, Madagascar. But Jungle doesn't flow that well. FFA is terrible on this map. Honestly, the only game mode that is enjoyable and does flow is Hardpoint. The map is large with lots of points of interest spaced out, and with Hardpoint being the game mode that puts focus on each of the individual hotspots, and that, in my opinion, is the only saving grace of this map. And ranking in right above Jungle at 13, my least favorite of the new maps, Militia. Now, Militia feels a lot like Jungle to me. It's large, has many smaller spaced out points of interest, and similar to Jungle as well, yet more noticeable is the fact that this map is separated by a large ravine. And while the long vertical lanes running parallel with the dried river can be annoying, this map plays better than Jungle because it has more horizontal lanes throughout the map, which make flanking, cross-map kills, and just changing direction a lot easier. This map is basically Jungle, but with Treyarch learning from their mistakes with Jungle. And it's not a Jungle. Number 12, Hacienda. Now, as cool as this map looks, it does have some glaring issues that, as a usual SMG player, confuse the hell out of me. This map seems like it would be a great SMG map. However, there are only a few areas in this map where you don't aim down a line of sight and have 2 other lines of sight aiming right at your back. There really is very little room for cover on this map, which wouldn't be as much of an issue if the spawns weren't broken. And this map is one of the worst maps, if not the worst map, when it comes to spawn flipping and spawn trapping, which makes no sense. Hardpoint on this map is the worst. My whole team can still be on our side of the B horizontal, and I'll get 3 enemies spawning in behind me. Then on TDM, I get spawn trapped by the damn fountain in the driveway. This map may play a lot better if the spawns weren't broken, but it may not. I can't tell if this would be a great flanking map because I don't know if I'm being flanked or the 3 dudes running up the stairs into the office spawned back there. But regardless of how you play this map, 7 out of the 10 deaths will be from getting shot in the back, which is pretty annoying. Number 11. Icebreaker. Now, I know some people don't like this map, and I understand. It looks wide open, seems like a snipe fest, but it really isn't. And depending on the game mode you're playing, if I'm in free-for-all or TDM for example, perfect map for a SMG. I know it doesn't seem like it, but this map has a very tight B horizontal and a pretty enclosed B vertical, so avoiding A and C verticals till you hit mid-map is a great way to get behind people. The only thing is the B vertical is the only enclosed lane, so if you want close quarters combat, you can find it, and people won't be expecting it. But the amount of times I've died to the Seeker Drone and Tempest give me PTSD, and that's why this map is ranked where it is. Number 10, Payload. Now this map is alright. It can be fun sometimes, but something about this map just makes it want to flow, but it just flows in the wrong direction. I'm never close enough to where I want to be, and it's never easy to get there. But when you can catch some enemies off guard at a choke point, you may be in for a sick triple or even a quad feed. The center area is pretty wide, yet if you're somewhere along the B horizontal, you can pick some people off, assuming you don't get flanked. But if you're expecting people to be coming at you close quarters, the middle area is fun and rewarding. It's just getting there, and when you don't, it's one hell of a trek to get back. Honestly, the most fun I've had on this map has been Safeguard. This is a good Safeguard map. Number 9, Contraband. Now, Contraband isn't a bad map. It doesn't really have any glaring issues with it. The B vertical is fun, and with the spawns being further back, it creates horizontal lanes between A and B and C, and a lot of gunfights take place in those horizontals. They work well to divide the map properly, and it works. The two windows looking down on B are quite fun, and when B's open, jumping out of the windows and doubling back into the spawn is a great way to catch people off guard in it free-for-all. Although TDM and Kill Confirmed are the better of the game modes, but the other game modes play fine. It's just that the other maps on this list do what this map does right, but better. Map number 8. Firing Range, another remaster from Black Ops that was also redesigned in the Black Ops 2 DLC map Studio. Now I know, everyone loves this map, and it's a fine map, but this map does have one glaring issue, and the one reason I'm ranking this map lower than it should be, and that's the fact that I always have to play on this map. Certain game modes just spam this map, and I hate it. Chaos Control is straight up cancer on this map, and I usually have to sit through 2 matches on this map because everyone picks it twice. Not to mention the addition of Firing Range Night, this map pops up twice as often. It's super annoying, and that makes me rarely vote for this map myself. In fact, if I were rating these maps based off of which map I'd be more likely to pick in the map vote, this map would be a lot lower. Now, the map itself isn't bad, however, it is misleading, the same way many other small maps in Call of Duty are. The small maps make you think it's gonna be a close quarters map, but that's simply not true. Being an SMG player, the smaller maps are obligatory rifle maps, and this map is no exception. Despite this map being small, there are very few lines of sight that don't cover over half the map. And while I do like the map, I don't like being lied to into thinking that I can SMG this bish. I'd prefer this map a lot more if it were actually close quarters. And with that, we're 7 down, 7 to go. So go ahead and take this time to complain that I put your favorite map too low on the list. Number 7, Seaside. Now, Seaside is a pretty good map. It has some areas that don't flow, and it has some areas that do flow. What it comes down to is the game mode, and the people on the other team. A game mode like TDM can have people going wherever they'd like, making wanting to play the wine cellar a huge challenge. Whereas Hardpoint and Control can give you some certainty of where they're coming from or where they're going. And if you know where they're coming from, you can play this map extremely smart. The fact that the wine cellar vertical doesn't connect to B can be a tad bit annoying, but the fact that B is wide open as it is a big issue. It really does narrow the options for traversing the map. Yet the wide open B isn't as bad as the wide open B in the next map. Number 6, Slums. The third remastered map, and one that came from Black Ops 2. Now, I really like Slums. It's a fine map. I really do enjoy this map, and most game modes play amazing on this map, with the exception of one. And that one game mode shows the glaring issue previously mentioned with this map, B flag on Domination. Now, Domination on this map is just annoying. Whoever captures B first is all but confirmed to win the game. It's so hard to capture, and there are like 5 lines of sight that aim onto the B flag. Had the fountain been slightly closer to B, it would help to provide at least partial cover against attackers. Better than being wide open with 5 places to get shot from. But the rest of the map just flows so well in many game modes, and that's why it was number 6. And next, number 5, Arsenal. Now I really think Arsenal is a great map. The main issue I have with it is how certain game modes make certain areas ghost towns. The area with the air conditioning units is actually a really fun area, but in TDM or Kill Confirmed you're hard pressed to find anyone over there, unless of course they're pulling the flank or Rooney, in which case it is a great lane. It just takes a while to perform the flank, and by that time the spawns easily could have been flipped. But regardless, the courtyard with the vents is fun. The center area is pretty fun as well. Seems pretty open, but you can take a decent amount of cover. And while most game modes are fun on this map, this is another map that I think Safeguard plays very, very well on. With the other game modes, it's just trying to get back to the action that can be annoying. Number 4, Frequency. Now this map is great. I have nothing bad to say about this map, except it's all indoors, so airbase score streaks are all but useless. And the fact that you can't change score streaks with your class means you can't just change your score streaks once you realize you won't be able to benefit from a lightning strike and a hellstorm missile. But if you're prepared with an RCXD, well, you'll be having fun. The only other thing I can really complain about is that there aren't enough horizontals connecting the flanks. They're there, it just they are there, it just takes time to traverse them, and sometimes will leave you dumbfounded at a complete lack of enemies along your path. But if you're lucky and catch them off guard, or just have a decent map awareness, you can make this map flow in your favor. But if not, it won't flow. Number 3, Gridlock. Now this map is a little confusing for me. I like it a lot, but thinking about it, do I like it so much that it's number 3? Well, let me think about it. The verticals are long and open, with the exception of the bathhouse garden area, so snipers can get pretty annoying. However, being a flanking SMG player, if you can pull a flank, you can decimate the snipers. If you can get around close to the armored vehicles in the middle of the map, you can clear out other enemies around it. And if no one is sniping from the broken road area, you can get behind every enemy either in the bathhouse or the street with the ambulance and fire trucks. This map flows well enough, and while other maps may flow better, this map is one of the most aesthetically pleasing of the bunch. And while having a perfect flanking route available would be nice, working for it doesn't take too long and is very rewarding. Number 2, Summit. The last of the remastered maps coming from Black Ops, but also reimagined as Uplink for Black Ops 2, which, if you count the fact that the remasters in this game were also in Black Ops 3, albeit a year and a half after the game's 1-year life cycle, makes this map and firing range playable in every iteration in the Black Ops series. Now Summit. I really do enjoy this map. It's close quarters and large enough of a map that there are multiple points of interest. It just makes the areas between the points of interest close quarters combat as well, and I love that. Anywhere you travel on this map has multiple normal and flank routes, which leads to you being able to change course at a moment's notice. Anytime I play this map, I find every gunfight to be unique, which goes to show how many options you truly have on this map. And if you play it smart and keep moving, your enemies will think you're the only one on your team and that you are somehow everywhere at once. The only issue with this map is that it flows so well, your enemies will definitely be able to catch you off guard as well. And finally, my favorite map of them all. I hope you don't all have the power of deduction and figured out my favorite, because if I'm going to trigger anyone, I want it to be a surprise. Morocco. Now this may be some personal bias based on the fact that I can destroy on this map. I've gotten bloodthirsties like nothing TKOing, mercilesses, some ruthlesses. I can just go off on this map. And now while it's unlike Summit in that there aren't that many cross sections to change directions, the flanks in this map are easy and very, very rewarding. This map has a clear base flow that a lot of players tend to stick to, which makes predicting where people will be going incredibly easy. The vertical route with the balconies and the lowered bazaar may not have a quick route to be, but it's an area that rewards good players, and flanking that route can get you behind the enemy team in such a way that taking out the entire team is almost handed to you, yet you feel like you worked hard for it and played it as sneaky as possible. It's a map that I feel truly separates smart players from not as smart players. Plus there's the B flag, and I'm a stickler for B flags. And this one may be too small in hardpoint, but thank God it has cover. You can get shot in the back, or less likely from above, because they'll be out in the open, but only your back and top to worry about is very doable, and makes this B flag an area that shows that a B flag area can be good. And if you don't think this map should be anywhere close to the top, well, replay it and flank. Think about what you'd normally do and try to catch yourself off guard, and if that doesn't help, these are just my opinions, and I don't really, If you disagree, I'd love to know why, so please comment down below and let me know. Leave a like if you enjoyed, even if you disagreed. If you enjoyed it and got this far, just leave that like. Subscribe for more great content. I've been your boy Rebel, enjoying these maps. Not so much the gun balancing and the specialists. And until next time, peace.